Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Beat by Sheldon. I'm here today with my friend Yadija.
Hello!
And today we're going to show you how to achieve a natural men's makeup look.
I am a musician, and it's very common for musicians when they go on stage to wear some sort of makeup.
Absolutely.
Because lights are very bright.
Well, the look we're going to do today is definitely going to be awesome for you when you're on stage because it's just going to give you a little bit of something where it's not going to look like you're wearing makeup, but it's just going to give you that little bit boost of confidence on stage and you're not going to look as washed out. So get ready to get beat by Sheldon. So to begin today's look, we're going to prep Yadija's skin. Prepping the skin is the most important part, whether you wear makeup or you don't. You want to cleanse and then moisturize your skin. I'm going to take this Bioderma Sensiblo H2O cleanser. We're removing any excess oil and dirt on the face, but it won't strip the face of any of the essential oils that your skin needs, the natural oils. So I really love this cleanser because it's really going to help cleanse the skin and prep it for makeup, but it's not gonna cause any irritation, and it's great for sensitive skin. So after we cleanse the skin, now we're going to moisturize. For today, I'm using the Embryolisse Le Creme Moisturizer. This is a great moisturizer because you can use it all over the face and the under eyes. Moisturizing the eye area is super important. It's also going to prime the skin for makeup and help the longevity of your makeup last all day. So I'm just gonna take the Embryolisse and put it a little bit on the back of my hand. And you can use this, your fingers to apply this, but I'm just going to use a sponge because that's the way I like to do it and I find it to be the most hygienic way. So I'm just first start with the eye area, so look up for me. So just take a little bit, and for this part I like to rub it in with my finger.
Skin feels very soft. It's very moisturized.
It's all nice and prepped. And we just moisturized the skin. Now his skin is all prepped and ready to begin the makeup application. So to begin the look, I'm gonna start off using a little bit of corrector or concealer. I'm using the Bobbi Brown BBU palette. I'm gonna use this color called Light Bisque. So I'm just gonna take my little spatula for hygiene reasons and scoop out a little bit onto my palette. And I'm gonna grab a concealer brush, and then I'm just gonna take a little bit of that color, and look up for me. I'm just gonna apply it, mostly focusing on that inner corner where he has that most amount of darkness. And this color is gonna help cancel that like bluish purple hue that Yadija has a little bit under his eyes. This will give the most natural effect. The warmth of your finger will really press the concealer into the skin and take away any creases. So now I'm just gonna take a very small amount of that corrector and I'm gonna put it on his upper eyelid just to take away any of that discoloration he has on his eyelid. I'm just gonna apply a little bit with the brush and then again blend it on my finger. So after we applied the corrector, now I'm gonna use a little bit of foundation. For foundation, as a makeup artist, I like to work with cream foundations because they're very versatile. You can use a light coverage, a full coverage. I'm gonna mix this RCMA VK palette. Yadija's shade is OL3, which is this color, and I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of the Embryolisse moisturizer to create my own tinted moisturizer. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this shade, OL3. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of the Embryolisse moisturizer and just do a little tiny little like dollop. Mixed. Bam. Right. So after you have your concoction or your tinted moisturizer ready, you can apply it with your fingers. I'm gonna use a damp beauty sponge. This is from Real Techniques. So you wanna avoid the under eye area at first where we applied the corrector. And I'm gonna apply this starting from more of the center of the face, working outwards. So very lightly, and I'm just bouncing the sponge around, pressing it into the skin.
I would really love a pillow made out of that sponge.
Right?
That is very
so good, I love this. It's like a massage on your face. So I'm really focusing the majority of the product, avoiding the beard, and then whatever is left, I like to swipe it down a little bit and also into the hairline, just so everything looks seamless and you can't see where everything starts and finishes. And then I'm gonna take some down his neck because there's a lot of like redness and discoloration. You want everything to look seamless, so you just wanna bring whatever you do on the face, the neck, behind the ears, and we're even gonna put a little bit on the ears to take away that redness. Really getting in there, see what he forgot to take out when he took a shower. So after I applied the tinted moisturizer and after the corrector, we're just gonna use a little bit of the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on here. And And then I'm just gonna take my sponge again and press underneath the eye and over the eye to take out the creases. And then I'm gonna use the other side of the sponge to set it in place. Look up for me. Yeah, men have been wearing makeup for years. For some reason, when it comes to Hollywood, there's not as much of like a stigma to it. Like for men to wear makeup in Hollywood, almost every man on camera is wearing makeup, and like that's not uncommon. But a lot of people get nervous in their everyday life to wear makeup. But I do know a lot more men that started wearing makeup, and it's nice to see that people are more comfortable with themselves because there are no rules with makeup. So now I'm just taking this big powder brush and I'm just taking a little bit more powder and I'm bringing it down the neck where we placed the tinted moisturizer earlier and on the ears. And then after I do this, everything that was setting earlier with the excess powder on the face, I'm gonna brush it away. So I just swept off all the excess powder and now we're ready to move on to bronzer. So now for bronzer, I am going to take the NARS Laguna bronzer. So I'm gonna use that same brush I used for powder, just tapping my brush a little bit. So I start like by the temples, slowly sweeping it onto the cheek. And then slowly on the nose, the forehead, whatever's left. Close your eyes. And then I just like to sweep it also just in like that. This way it takes away if it's too bright in by the eye area. I just want everything to flow. I'm just gonna take this Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Eyebrow Gel, which I love. And this is going to set the brow hairs in place so they don't move. So this is optional, but I wanna add a little bit of definition to Yadijah's eyes. I'm just taking this Kat Von D Shade and Light Contouring Palette. This color from this palette, it's a little bit more cool tone, so it's not as warm as the bronzer. So I'm just gonna take this little pencil brush. You don't have to have a pencil brush. You can also use like a Q-tip if you want, but I just like to work with brushes. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that color, tap off the excess. You only want a little bit on the brush, and then look up for me. And by doing this, it's gonna add a little bit of definition to the lower lashes. Sometimes when you add concealer, it could make the lower lashes not really have any more definition. So this is gonna help bring that back and it's gonna look more natural and also help define his eye. I'm just gonna take this little fluffy brush. I'm just gonna lightly, very lightly fill in some areas of Yadijah's beard just so it looks a little bit more defined. Again, this is optional, but it'll just make everything look a little cleaner, turn that way. I'm just gonna take this color from Anastasia Beverly Hills, their Brow Pro palette. Just tap it in my brush.
What does one do if one needs to scratch their face while wearing makeup?
Don't. That's simple. I always tell people, if you need a sneeze, don't sneeze. So by filling in his beard, I'm keeping it very light. I'm just lightly filling it in. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna add more structure to his beard. It's gonna look a little more clean. It's gonna help give a little bit more definition, kind of a contour to his jawline to help structure the face a little more. And it's just gonna make everything look a little sharper, a little cleaner. It's an optional step. I just like to do this because I just think it adds that little bit of oomph. I'm just gonna take that same spoolie from earlier and just lightly go into his beard, blend it through, and you brush the hairs down. This is gonna just help everything blend. All the powder that you put in, it's gonna blend with his natural beard, and it's just gonna kind of keep everything in its shape and look a little crisper, a little cleaner. Turn this around a little. So now I'm just gonna take this eyelash curler. This is from Makeup Designery, and I'm just gonna curl Yadijah's lashes. I don't wanna put any mascara on him. I don't usually put mascara on my male clients because we wanna keep it very natural. If you want to, you could. But curling the lashes is just gonna help open up the eye a little more. It's also gonna help, we said before he has recessed eyes, it's gonna help them be a little bit more open, a little brighter. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of lip balm. You can use any lip balm you want. I just always like to do this just to hydrate my client's lips and also take away any makeup that might have gone on the lips. And to complete this look, I'm just going to take MAC Fix Plus. You can use any setting spray. I like to use this one because it's very hydrating to the skin. And it's really gonna help everything melt into the skin, and it's gonna take away any excess powder that was left in the face. So just take it, close your eyes for me, and then I take a couple of sprays, put it all over, wave around my hands like a flopping duck.
I've always wanted to be waved on by a flopping duck.
I know, dreams, hashtag goals. And this will just keep everything natural, melt everything into the skin, and keep them looking flawless. And that completes our look for today. This is the final look. So as you can see, we just really evened out his skin. His brows look nice and crisp. His under eye is a little less dark. We filled in his beard. We kept on that lip balm, obviously. Sprayed down his face, powdered it, added a little bit of bronzer. We really didn't do that many steps, but we achieved a really great natural look where he doesn't look like he's wearing a lot of makeup, but it really just gave him more of a flawless appearance to the skin, and that was our goal. So thank you for joining us on another episode of Beat by Sheldon. Thank you so much to Yadija, my model of the day. Be sure to leave any comments below in the comment box, and be sure to check out our description box for our social media. Be sure to follow us, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for some reason if you want to be notified of our next video. And stay tuned and get ready again to get Beat by Sheldon. Okay.